Hi there, I'm Michael Wild, and here's your estate planning tip for the day. So, estate planning tip, with a revocable trust, you can put protections and restrictions in place for your children or other beneficiaries. So, this is Kendall. Kendall is one of my children. She is my daughter, and today is Take Your Child to Work Day. So, Kendall is here helping me at the office. Now, Kendall, at 7 years old, has not done enough to warrant her being written out of the will or the trust. But what we do have in place is something that protects Kendall from herself to a certain extent. We have a restriction in place that says that the trustee is going to manage Kendall's trust for her until she is 30 years old. That's the age I chose. Every client chooses their own age, but I remember myself in my 20s, and I remember myself, and I know myself in my 30s, and I trust myself in my 30s more than I trust myself in my 20s. So what we want to do here is we want to make sure that Kendall doesn't have any issues with getting too much money too fast should myself and her mother die before she's 30 years old. She's going to be protected by having the trustee in place. So if Kendall, when she's 16 years old, wants to buy a car and she says, hey, can I get a Porsche? Well, Grandpa, as the trustee, might say, no, a Toyota would be nicer. Yeah, Kendall doesn't like that. She wants a nicer car. But now, when Kendall's 30, we have more protections in place because what we say is, yes, she could tell Grandpa to take a hike and she could be in charge of her own trust and spend it any way she wants. But let's say Kendall gets into some problems. And if something happens where she gets sued or goes through a divorce or has some litigation or bankruptcy issues, don't worry, you got plenty of time to worry about that. The trust is going to shield those assets and make sure that nobody can ever take anything from Kendall. So Kendall has to ask permission to spend money until she's 30. But when she's 30, she can then use the money any way she wishes, but nobody will ever be able to take it from her. And that money is going to be protected and go down to her kids and her grandkids, and it's going to stay in my family for a very long time, as long as she doesn't spend it all. So anyway, using a revocable trust, you can protect your children from outside sources and from themselves, and that's your estate planning tip of the day. Yes, dear?
It's a wild world. Are you protected?
I'm protected. It's a wild world. Are you protected?